Hi, this is Brian from Clock Tower, and I'm here to show you how to make the most of your Bitwarden account one step at a time. So in the last step, we showed you how to install the Bitwarden browser extension. And in this step, I'm going to show you some of the settings that I believe are the best, give you the best customization for the best experience. So we're going to walk you through the following settings. It's going to be autofill, vault timeout, unlock with PIN, and unlock with biometrics. So this procedure is the same for every browser, but you're going to need to make some of these changes on each browser you use. So if you use Edge and Chrome on the same computer, you'll need to make this change in each of those browsers. So we're going to start by opening the Bitwarden browser extension, which you'll find here if you've done the previous step correctly. So we'll click that. And then we'll click the settings button that's at the bottom right of the extension window. And then under the manage setting, we're going to click autofill. So by default, Bitwarden doesn't automatically fill in usernames and passwords. That's something you have to tell it to do. So we're going to click autofill. And then we're going to check the box next to autofill on page load. So what this will do is when you go to a page and Bitwarden knows your credentials for that page, it will automatically fill them in. You don't have to worry about the rest of the items that are on this page. If there's some customization further that needs to be done, we can help you with that for specific web pages. Now that we've checked that box, we're going to click the back button. And then we're going to go down to the security setting. So on this, you have a vault timeout setting. So what that means is once you've signed into your vault, how long does it stay available to you before it locks itself again or signs out? So there's a few different options, and what we recommend is that this be set to 4 hours or less. So I believe by default we have, or by policy, it is set to 4 hours maximum. So that means that you can use Bitwarden as long as the browser stays open. You can use Bitwarden for 4 hours before you have to kind of tell it who you are again. And that's for security, so that in case somebody got into or in front of your computer and, in the middle of the night or something, they wouldn't be able to get in. And then for the vault timeout action, we're going to leave that at lock. So there's a couple of options. There's a couple of options, lock and log out. Log out forces you to log back in with your master password. Lock simply locks the extension, and then you can unlock it with a PIN if you check this box. So when you check that box, it's going to ask you to create a PIN. Now, the difference between a PIN and a password is that the PIN is specific to this instance of the Bitwarden extension. This PIN does not follow you around. It only works on this computer and on this browser. Now, in principle, you'd probably, if you use multiple browsers, if you use multiple computers, you're going to want to make that PIN the same, so that you don't have to remember multiple PINs. But this is just, it's not like setting up another less secure password. You can't use the PIN to log into your browser online, for example. To log into Bitwarden online. It's only used to unlock the extension. So I'm going to give this a PIN, and I like to leave this checked, lock with master password on browser restart. And that way, when the system restarts or when the web browser fully closes and you reopen it again, you can't use the PIN. You have to use the master password to log you in. It's just a little more secure. We'll click OK. And if you're working from a laptop or a tablet that supports a fingerprint reader or iris scanning, you can check off this unlock with biometrics, and that makes it a little faster. You don't have to even use the PIN at that point. You can just use your finger or just look at the screen or look at the camera. But this computer that I'm using doesn't have that, so I'm not going to check that off. And that's it. Those are the main customizations that we recommend that make using the browser extension easier. So the next step will be to configure two-step login to make your Bitwarden vault super secure.